mind, there are a lot of issues where men who have been used to consuming different substances have faced like experiences of premature ejaculation or experiences of erectile dysfunctions, which happen not necessarily just with the use of substances, but even otherwise. So, could you please provide the right solutions, what they should take up or what they should opt for in such situations, doctor, from your own experience?
First and foremost, people like you do a great service by bringing a person who's on the brink of a situation in his life and is then addicted to a substance where things are not going right. So primarily you bring them around, get them sane enough to then address issues of sexual performance. I again can't help first using a corollary of gold medal in the Olympics. Obviously, this gentleman who's just come out from his negatives of over consuming certain type of things, he is not overnight going to get a gold medal. So if he falls back into thinking, and this is thinking, this is not reality, that when his sensibilities were actually numbed by alcohol or an intoxicant, he was actually happier, that is hugely erroneous. The perception, you cannot perceive a thing better than through touch when you are sober. If you are not sober, what you are feeling is not actually what you're feeling, but you are thinking that something is brilliant. But actually, you are making yourself numb, you are becoming indifferent to your partner's requirements and are only being selfish to focus on yourself, and that too by blurring reality. Now, if this message seeps through, that's when the urologist, andrologist, and the male patient build upon performing better. Now, as I said, it is very easy for me to write a prescription in 30 seconds. We are all familiar with drugs like Viagra, and its clones, but they are all effectively working in the same way by increasing the level of certain chemicals at the level of the penis, increasing blood flow into the organ. So those drugs, if you take them, sildenafil, Viagra, as the people may know, they will not bring about an erection. The erection would still require desire, arousal before you reach the stage of orgasm. So being sober, taking the medicine, working on all the other facets of the sexual act, whether it is good hygiene, whether it is anticipation, whether it is fantasy sharing, whether it is role playing, all those come in, and that's when the drug that you may have taken would have its best effect. So long as there is any anxiety in the man's head at the time of indulging in that sexual activity, anxiety releases a hormone which we are familiar with called adrenaline. Adrenaline constricts the vessels, thereby blunting the blood flow into the penis. So no amount of performance enhancing substances would deliver if there is anxiety around the act, and which is where a counselor, a psychiatrist, a urologist all need to come in to address that anxiety. Now, oftentimes a man would tell me, doctor, if I could have an erection and I could penetrate, I would have no anxiety. So instead of telling me a lot of these things, why don't you just do something that I can penetrate my partner? Now, if we are talking a guarantee to penetration, then a guaranteed operation which gives a man an erection, or stiffness is a better word, is a penile implant. As a surgeon, we fix either a semi-rigid implant or an inflatable implant. Uh, we operate, and in the penile cylinders, the implant is fitted. If it is a semi-rigid, then the man is having an erection at all times, or a stiff penis at all times. He can penetrate and have sex any time of day. Or if it is an inflatable, there is a valve which is in addition implanted in the scrotum. So pumping on that valve pushes saline into the inflatable cylinders which are lying within the penile cylinders, cavernosa, and a more natural looking erection comes about. Once penetration happens, arousal is an ongoing feature, orgasm follows or ejaculation follows. Post the ejaculation, the man can again press the valve and deflate that implant. So guarantee is a penile implant for a man, leading up to then getting to need an implant. All of what we have shared thus far is to avoid that implant. However, I've been working in this field for a while and have been looking at various other options short of surgery in the form of wearable devices which could help a man achieve penetration. So some of those devices have very promising results. But like I shared, whether we are talking drugs, whether we are talking a wearable device, whether we are talking a surgical implant, we need to have a very clear understanding on the expectation setting of the person and expectation setting for the partner.